The family reunion happened every 3 years at Uncle Robert's lake house, a sprawling property where 50 relatives gathered to celebrate achievements, share gossip and compare careers. I'd been dreading it for months. "Chloe." Aunt Marie intercepted me the moment I walked through the door. "Still doing that internet thing?" "Social media platform development," I replied. She waved dismissively. "Right. When are you going to get a real job? You're 31 now. Time to think about stability." My cousin Derek bounded over, suit jacket perfectly pressed. "Did you hear? I got the internship at Morrison & Associates, starting in their corporate law division next month." The family room erupted in applause. Uncle Robert clapped Derek on the back. My mother beamed as if Derek's achievement reflected well on the entire family. "That's wonderful," I said. "Congratulations." Derek's smile was condescending. "Thanks. Maybe once I'm established I can help you find something more legitimate. Law firms always need administrative support." I kept my expression neutral. "I appreciate the thought." The afternoon continued predictably. Every relative asked about Derek's internship while I fielded the same questions. "Are you still on the computer all day? Have you thought about going back to school? When will you get a real career?" My younger sister Amanda tried to help. "Chloe's platform has millions of users now." "Millions of people waste time on the internet," Aunt Marie interrupted. "That doesn't make it a career. My hairdresser has a Facebook page. That doesn't make her a tech entrepreneur." Uncle Robert joined in. "Chloe, I'm saying this because I care. You need to stop wasting your prime earning years on hobbies. Derek's internship might not pay much now, but it's building towards something real. Partnership track, retirement benefits, respect." "I have those things," I said quietly. "From playing on social media?" Aunt Marie laughed. "Sweetheart, be realistic." I excused myself to the kitchen and checked my phone. The notification made me smile. Connect Hub reaches 1 billion active users. Congratulations on this milestone achievement. My platform, Connect Hub, had started 6 years ago in my apartment. A social networking tool focused on professional collaboration and skill sharing. Last year's Series C funding had valued the company at $4.2 billion. I owned 34% as founder and CEO. But nobody at this reunion knew that. They'd decided years ago I was wasting my life and never asked for details. Amanda found me in the kitchen. "You okay? They're being really harsh." "I'm used to it." "You should tell them. Show them what Connect Hub actually is." I shook my head. They wouldn't believe me. "Chloe, you're a literal billionaire." "Tonight," I said, checking my phone. "The Tech Innovation Awards ceremony starts at 8. If they're still interested in discussing my career, then I'll show them." Build up. Dinner was served on the lake house's massive deck. 50 family members crowded around tables, the evening air warm with late summer humidity. Derek held court at the main table, describing his upcoming internship. Morrison & Associates only takes 5 interns per year. The competition was intense. Over 300 applications for 5 spots. "That's incredible odds," Uncle Robert said proudly. Everyone praised the golden child blessed with conventional success. Aunt Marie turned to me. "Chloe, maybe Derek can give you tips on his interview process. Help you understand how to present yourself professionally." "I don't interview much anymore," I said. "Because you're not applying anywhere. Honey, I know rejection is hard, but you can't give up. Maybe start with entry-level positions. Administrative work, customer service. Build your way up." My mother looked uncomfortable. "Marie, Chloe's doing fine." "Is she though? She's been doing this internet hobby for 6 years. At some point you have to admit it's not working out." Derek leaned forward earnestly. "Chloe, I'm not trying to be harsh. But social media isn't a career path. It's something teenagers do. You have a college degree. You're smart. You could do something meaningful with your life." "I think I am," I said quietly. "Playing online?" Uncle Robert shook his head. "Derek's going to be making a difference in the world. Corporate law shapes how businesses operate, how society functions. That's impact. What impact does posting on the internet have?" I thought about Connect Hub's billion users. The small business owners who'd found clients through the platform. The freelancers who'd built entire careers using our professional networking tools. "More than you'd think," I replied. And Patricia jumped in. "I'm sure you enjoy it, sweetie. But enjoyment and career viability are different things. Derek continued. The key is building credibility. That's what Morrison and Associates provides. When I tell people where I work, they respect that. Where do you work, Chloe? Asked my cousin Jennifer. I run a social networking platform called Connect Hub. Blank stares around the table. Never heard of it, Uncle Robert said. Is it like Facebook? Similar concept, different focus. We specialize in professional collaboration and skill sharing. So like LinkedIn? Derek asked. Comparable, but with more emphasis on project collaboration and freelance networking. Aunt Marie patted my hand. That's nice, dear. Maybe one day it'll take off. It has taken off, Amanda interjected. Chloe's platform has. Millions of users, yes, we heard, Aunt Marie interrupted. But millions of people use all sorts of websites. That doesn't mean the person who made it is successful. I checked my phone. 7:47 p.m. The awards ceremony would start streaming in 13 minutes. Actually, I said carefully, Connect Hub is quite profitable. Last quarter's revenue was $340 million. Derek laughed. Right. And I'm the Queen of England. I'm serious. Chloe, come on, Uncle Robert said gently. If you were running a company worth hundreds of millions, we'd know about it. Would you? You've never asked for specifics. You decided 6 years ago I was wasting time and never questioned that assumption. The table fell silent. That's not fair, Aunt Marie said. You've been dismissive, I corrected. Every single reunion, every holiday. Still doing that internet thing. When will you get a real job? You've never once asked what Connect Hub actually does or how it's performing. My mother looked stricken. Honey, if you'd told us. I tried. Multiple times. Last Christmas I mentioned reaching 500 million users. Aunt Marie changed the subject to Derek's law school applications. Thanksgiving I explained our Series C funding. Uncle Robert said venture capital was fancy gambling and suggested I look into dental hygiene programs. Derek's smirk faded. Okay, let's say you're telling the truth. Prove it. I pulled out my phone. The Tech Innovation Awards ceremony starts in 10 minutes. Connect Hub is nominated in 3 categories. Would you like to watch? Revelation. I connected my phone to Uncle Robert's outdoor TV, the massive screen he'd installed for watching football. The Tech Innovation Awards logo appeared with dramatic music. This is one of the tech industry's biggest events, I explained. Streamed live from San Francisco. Over 2,000 industry leaders attend in person. The camera panned across the audience. CEOs in designer suits, venture capitalists, tech journalists, innovation officers from Fortune 500 companies. Why are we watching this? Aunt Marie asked impatiently. Because Chloe's nominated, Amanda said triumphantly. The host appeared on stage. Welcome to the 15th Annual Tech Innovation Awards, recognizing the platforms, leaders and innovations transforming how we connect, collaborate and create. The first category was platform innovation. The nominees appeared on screen. 5 companies with their logos and statistics. Then Connect Hub appeared. My company logo filled the screen alongside text. 1.2 billion active users. $1.4 billion annual revenue. Founded by CEO Chloe Martinez. My mother gasped. Derek's smirk vanished. Aunt Marie's mouth fell open. The host continued. Connect Hub has revolutionized professional networking by creating seamless collaboration tools that connect freelancers, entrepreneurs, and experts across 190 countries. The camera cut to the audience, where my COO Sarah and CTO James sat at a table marked Connect Hub. The empty seat beside them had a placard with my name. I couldn't attend in person because of the reunion, I explained quietly. The host opened the envelope. And the winner for platform innovation is Connect Hub. The audience erupted in applause. Sarah and James stood accepting the award, a sleek glass sculpture. The screen behind them showed Connect Hub's growth metrics. User engagement rates, revenue projections, market penetration statistics. Holy shit, Derek whispered. The camera zoomed in on a pre-recorded acceptance speech. My face appeared on screen, professional hair and makeup, designer dress. Thank you to the Tech Innovation Awards Committee, my recorded self said. Connect Hub started as a simple idea. What if we could make professional collaboration as easy as social networking? Today, with over 1 billion users trusting our platform to build their careers, find collaborators and create opportunities, I'm humbled by what we've achieved. The applause continued as the speech ended. Uncle Robert's deck was absolutely silent except for the streaming audio. The ceremony continued. Connect Hub won 2 more awards: Best User Experience Design and Emerging Market Leader. Each win included more statistics, more footage of Sarah and James accepting awards, more evidence I'd been telling the truth. When the ceremony cut to commercial break, I paused the stream. Nobody spoke. Finally, Uncle Robert found his voice. You're actually the CEO of a billion-user platform? Yes. And it's worth. Current valuation is $4.2 billion. My ownership stake is 34%, which works out to roughly $1.4 billion. Aunt Marie had gone pale. You're a billionaire. On paper, yes. Most of it's equity, not liquid assets. But the company generates enough revenue that I'm comfortable. Derek stared at his plate. You let me lecture you about career building. Yes. You let Aunt Marie suggest administrative work. Also yes. Why? My mother asked, voice strained. Why didn't you tell us? I tried. But every time I mentioned users or funding or growth, you dismissed it as internet hobby nonsense. Eventually I stopped trying to convince you. Aunt Patricia looked horrified. We've been so rude. All those comments about getting a real job. While I was running a company worth billions, I finished. Yes. Resolution. The rest of the evening was uncomfortable in a different way. Suddenly everyone wanted to hear about Connect Hub's features, user demographics, revenue streams. Derek couldn't make eye contact. Aunt Marie kept apologizing. Uncle Robert pulled me aside. Chloe, I owe you an apology. I dismissed your work without understanding it. That was wrong. Yes, it was. Why did you keep coming to these reunions? Listening to us belittle your career. As your family. And I kept hoping that eventually you'd ask real questions instead of making assumptions. The next morning, Derek found me on the dock. I've been thinking about what I said. About impact and meaningful work. I remember. Your platform has over 1 billion users. That's more impact than I'll probably have in my entire legal career. Different kinds of impact. Corporate law matters. What you'll do matters. But I acted like it was the only thing that mattered. Like my internship was somehow more valuable than what you've already built. You did. Derek sat beside me. I don't know how to make this right. Start by asking questions before making judgments. And maybe stop measuring success by how conventional someone's path looks. He nodded slowly. How did you get funding initially? Bootstrapped for the first 2 years. Lived on savings and freelance work. Once we hit 10 million users, venture capital firms started reaching out. That must have been terrifying. It was. But it was also exciting. Building something from nothing, watching it grow beyond what I'd imagined. The family group chat had been active all night. Messages ranged from apologetic to demanding. Relatives I barely knew suddenly wanted to catch up and hear about my journey. Several asked about investment opportunities. I ignored most of them. My mother called that afternoon. Honey, I'm so sorry. We should have listened. Yes, you should have. I told everyone you were doing well. To people who weren't listening. Mom, you tried. But when Aunt Marie or Uncle Robert dismissed it, you didn't push back. You let them believe I was wasting my life. I didn't want to cause family conflict. So you chose them over supporting me. The silence was heavy. What can I do to fix this? Nothing right now. Maybe eventually. But I need some space. 3 months have passed. The family dynamic has shifted uncomfortably. Some relatives are genuinely apologetic, asking thoughtful questions about the platform. Others are clearly angling for money or connections. Derek texts occasionally with questions about entrepreneurship. He's struggling with the internship. The hours are brutal and the work is tedious. I offer what advice I can. Aunt Marie sent a long email apologizing. I haven't responded yet. Connect Hub continues growing. We crossed 1.5 billion users last month. The platform's impact, connecting freelancers with clients, enabling remote collaboration, facilitating knowledge sharing across borders, validates the work I've poured into it. But the validation I needed wasn't from user statistics or industry awards. It was from family members who'd spent years dismissing my internet thing, without ever asking what I was actually building. They asked questions eventually. They just needed 1 billion users and a live-streamed awards ceremony to take me seriously. Last week Derek called. I'm leaving Morrison & Associates. The internship isn't what I thought it would be. What will you do? I don't know yet. But watching you build Connect Hub from nothing, taking risks, believing in something unconventional, made me realize I've been following a path because it looked impressive to other people. Not because it was right for me. That's brave, I said. Or stupid. I'll let you know which. The family reunion is next summer. I'm debating whether to attend. The assumption-driven dismissal has been replaced by aggressive interest and barely concealed requests for money. I'm not sure which is worse. But I do know this. Success doesn't require family validation. It's nice when it comes, but it can't be the goal. The work matters. The impact matters. The 1 billion users who trust Connect Hub to help build their careers. They matter. Everything else is just noise from people who should have asked questions years ago.